3, 2, 1. You want to do it?
No. Grab the mic.
Grab the mic. Put that there.
Grab the mic. I'm recording with these.
Okay, here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
The long-awaited episode of the AA meeting.
Yeah, it
Part two.
returns. It returns.
Yeah. Lots happened in between.
Yeah.
16, or I guess what? Chat will be episode 18 of the interview of Argu. I've done 18 episodes
18 episodes.
since we first did the AA meeting back in Jan. That's actually crazy to think about.
That is insane.
3 months in, 4 months I guess now, but like 18 episodes in 4
It
months.
was January 10th we did it.
Yeah.
So what's the day? March 29th?
Today's March 29th, yeah. It's crazy amount, bro.
So, I mean, that's the first quarter of the year done.
Yeah. That means we're on pace for 80 episodes this year.
Jeez. I'm surprised you knew like more than 5 people.
To be fair, some people have been complete strangers. It's been interesting, man.
Yeah.
It's like the amount of people, some people have reached out to me, but like it's very difficult with strangers to gauge how good they're going to be at speaking if they don't have speaking stuff on their page.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not going to take, sorry to everyone that's like asked to come on, I haven't replied to, but I'm not going to take someone that like, I don't know how well they speak, like either by recommendation or by seeing it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'll record for an hour just wasting my time, you know, so that's not going to happen. But y'all do, like, some of the people have been mad interesting, some of the perspectives have been mad interesting. The whole process of being an influencer is nothing like what I expected it to be.
But are you really being an influencer though?
Well, I'm not influencing anyone yet, so I guess not.
No, but like, I mean, that's such a negative spin on what. No, like I mean, like you're not doing brand promotions, and you're not creating a platform for brand promotions.
Yeah,
so
but
I
I
wouldn't
think that's
necessarily
why-
call it influencing.
I think of an influencer as anyone that influences other people's decisions. Right?
Okay.
So like,
yeah.
Togi is an influencer. He has no brand, but he influences people to go gamble and take steroids. And now turn life to Christ, which is hilarious. That's been the most interesting arc to watch. But yeah, I think that's what an influencer is. I'm not influencing people's decisions yet, maybe, but hopefully someday, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, do you consider like Chris Williamson, Huberman? Do you consider them influencers?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. What would you call them?
Old dudes with opinions.
Bro, Chris old is right. Okay, I guess he's almost 40. But he looks, dude, I see that guy and I think he's like 27
Yeah.
every single time. He does not look old.
No, he doesn't. I don't know. I've for a very long time had a very blanketed opinion and view on podcasts. You starting a podcast actually challenged my perception of podcasts. I think I sent you a message about this one day where I was like, I had been watching a podcast, like 2 or 3 episodes of podcast every day for like a good 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it didn't change my life at all. It made it worse. No, I'm teasing.
I'm going to be dead ass.
no, I'm teasing. No, like I think okay, I'm not teasing about the blanketed opinion or blanketed approach to it. Like, yeah, I've never cared much for them. I've never really felt that like everyone's opinion is like not valid, but like everyone's opinion needs to be broadcasted to the world.
Fair. Look, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of brain rot. Like 90% of the podcast is just brain rot.
I speaking of, and this is a bit of a
tangent.
I love clavicular. Like I think that is my favorite. Like I don't.
One of the few people I wanted to talk about during this episode. Dude, that guy's rise has been insane.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen a human more undeserving of the attention they get. These Looksmaxxing guys. What is the end goal?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
What do you think is going to happen after you've bone mashed yourself and you have like a 10 out of 10 cantor tilt, or whatever it's called? Or like, do you think women are just going to fall at your feet or something? Like, I don't get it.
I just what I think is fascinating about it, right, is that like clavicular ultimately, when when time no longer remembers him for his name or his stage name, he will be remembered as the guy who normalized bone smashing, like
and meth.
and meth. Yeah. I think there's an incredible like level of depravity.
Getting the funniest Clavicular post I saw. You know, Clavicular's been online forever. He just hasn't been making videos. But like, he's super active on like Looksmaxxing subreddits.
Yeah.
And someone found a really old post of his, which is like his origin story.
Yeah.
Which is referred to as the piss mogging event. Where he talks about going to the bathroom in high school.
I know the story.
It's like he goes to walk from high school and he's trying to pee, and like it takes 4 or 5 seconds to start, and then this very weak stream of piss comes out, and some other guy comes next to him. Some other guy comes up next to him and pulls out his pants and immediately starts pissing an ocean into it. And he said he felt so belittled. This is the face of the Looksmaxxer. Like, brand of things, dude.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. No, like, I think my favorite thing is that, like, my favorite clavicular moment. Like, I'm gonna state this here and now that I don't support a single thing he stands for. Never. I think he's an objectively terrible person. I just think he's the funniest person on the internet at the moment.
Do you think he's terrible? Sorry. I always pause it when people are like, someone's terrible. Like, shit, the guy is misguided as hell.
He became famous because he drove over someone with his Tesla Cybertruck.
That's true, dude. But yeah, it's just like he's so young, and he's obviously so mentally ill.
Yeah,
that I just feel bad for calling him a bad person. He's definitely done a lot of bad things, but geez, dude, you need to hug.
He needs to follow. I get that. I hope he kind of comes right while he still has the opportunity to.
I agree. I hope he gets out of the echo chamber that is this Looksmaxxing.
Yeah, but
Looksmaxxing sphere. But yes, go on, tell your story.
The funniest, like for me, and like I kind of hope he never leaves the echo chamber just because of this exact thing. He did this like interview with like a really red pill right wing news station. I don't know the name of the interviewer. I know he's quite a prolific figure. I don't know.
I think I know the event you're talking about. I cut it in like 10 seconds.
No. It was just this dude who was like, because like the Red Pill's kind of dying at the moment. Yeah. That the whole Manosphere thing is kind of dying. Yeah. Which, I mean, finally, thank God, you. Yeah, that was an era. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so a lot of like the Red Pill, like the people that like anchored or built their state to fame, their claim to fame, their reputation and stuff. Yeah, like they're trying to cling to him to like kind of breathe life back into it.
Yeah,
I think he refers to himself as like a black pill, neither red nor blue or something. But yeah, but there's a lot of coinciding beliefs with the Red Pill. Anyways. He goes on this interview with this news dude, again, prolific figure. He's known for being quite like, and the dude's like trying to like, the guy's like trying to like sway him, like, not sway him, but like get him to like, tell his no, he's trying to get him to tell his community to vote for JD Vance for the next elections, and he turns around, Clav. Bless you.
Thanks.
No problem. Clav turns around and he goes, I'd never vote for him. It's like his main political opponent is going to be like Gavin Newsom, right? And he says, yeah, it's like, yeah, Gavin Newsom mogs him out the park. Like, what do you mean I'm supposed to vote for a 5'8"? Like, wait, it gets better. It gets better. It was like, what do you mean I'm supposed to vote for someone who's like 5'8", fat, balding by 30? No, that's so beta. Gavin Newsom mogs him out of the park, and I don't believe anything that Gavin Newsom, he's a fucking Democrat, but he mogs him out the park. I have to vote for him. And I don't think a word of that was a lie. I think he believed every single thing he
I
said.
think he
Yeah.
also believes it, but that's the scary part, dude. Dude, you know what's... I'm going to tell one more story about him, and then I'm going to actually give an opinion on this, not just basically reiterate the Instagram reels I've seen this guy. But there's this interview he was having with some another interview he's having with a news reporter, and like within the first like 5 minutes, he says something along the lines of, "So you don't think that looks are the most important thing towards people?" And the guy says, "No, not at all." And Claire goes, "Then I have nothing to discuss with you," and they end the interview.
Wow. Wow.
So here's my question, right?
Yeah.
Why? So I think the halo effect is real. We do just treat more attractive people nicer, right? Right.
Sorry, it just reminded me like the TikTok that he posted. If Charlie Kirk was more attractive, he would still be alive.
Did he say that?
He said that.
Bro, if JFK was more attractive, he'd still be alive.
If Marilyn Monroe is more attractive, she'd still be alive.
Dude, so like, okay, so the halo effect is real.
Yeah.
We do treat people that are attractive nicer. I think that's like an undisputable fact. I think there's a law of diminishing returns, especially if you're a man. Like, if you're 3 out of 10 as a dude, and you go to being a 7 out of 10, yeah, people are going to treat you a lot better. Like, just the way the world works. I think how attractive you are is also correlated to like your career success and your social community and blah, blah, blah. But I think if you go from being a 7 to an 8, no one really cares. And if you go from an 8 to a 9, no one really cares. It's like, do they recognize that you're getting the laws of diminishing returns at this point? You're putting all your personality and effort into something that's not at all even rewarding. So why do it?
I don't necessarily believe in the halo effect.
That's crazy. You don't believe in rain.
I don't believe in rain.
Dude, like the halo effect is so well studied.
Really? Okay. Well, maybe I'm ignorant to it. Let me say that.
You're just too good looking.
No, no.
You've never had the opposite end of it, bro.
I'm a graphic designer.
Yeah.
I chose to struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good looking.
I just no. It's. I could have, if I was good looking, I would be a graphic designer for a top 5 corporate company in the country because.
You still got time.
Who knows? Like, maybe everything changes after High Rocks.
Maybe, yeah. As soon as you get more of a chest. No. Like I think the halo effect is real. Like, I find myself doing it often, where I will make presumptions about a person's character based on how they look. Even though I know it's wrong, even though I consciously catch myself doing it, you still do it. Sometimes
I, funny enough, would make assumptions of people's, like, I'd make assumptions of people's wealth based on how good they look.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what the halo effect, right? And I think like once you get to the extremes, there's also like some trade-offs. Like if someone's too attractive, and sometimes I just kind of assume they're a bitch or an asshole. So like there's also the extreme thing. But I definitely think we do treat people that are more attractive. But like it's also not noticeably large. It's not like an intentional thing either. It's like, why are you starting to gain by doing all this Looksmaxxing stuff? Like, what benefit are you really getting? You're putting your whole identity in something that's going to maybe marginally improve your life.
Yeah.
You know? Like, why not put that time into a more productive form of self-development? You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. But I think it's like, I'll be completely honest with you, right? I don't think the Looksmaxxing community is a sincere community. Because if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't think that there is a large enough is consensus the right word? Like there's just not enough
following.
Yeah.
Like I get you on
like,
that completely.
I could understand, not I could understand, I could fathom and I could comprehend the Manosphere and the Red Pill because I could see people in the Red Pill all around me. But with the Looksmaxxing, it feels more like just one dude living the Reddit life.
Yeah, no, I think you got a great point on that. Like the thing with the Manosphere and the Red Pill stuff was it spoke to a large demographic of men. And that demographic of men did not need to hear what was coming out of the Red Pill space. Like I don't think it benefited them much. maybe benefit some people. Let me not jump to conclusions, but I think more what happened was that was a group that felt very underrepresented and underheard, and then they started feeling heard, and then they doubled down into it, and then people started criticizing them, which makes you double down into things even more. So I can completely understand that. But you're right about the Looksmaxxing thing is like, who is he really speaking to? It's just like the only thing I can imagine is like very insecure high schoolers or people that never grew out of like the high school mentality.
Yeah.
And the other like demographic he's appealing to is like people that just want to watch him bird. People just doing it for the laughs.
Yeah.
Like not people that actually agree with him.
It kind of like, but take a step back, let the words simmer, and now I speak.
Okay.
That stutter was crazy. But anyways, like it kind of, it reminds me a lot of like, what's the name of this? Kick.com, right? And majority of the streamers on kick.com, like aside from Aiden Ross, like I kind of find that a lot of these dudes don't like, their communities aren't actually communities. They're paying to see the downfall of someone.
Yeah.
Like their wealth is almost stimulated and
It's like here's a gesture, let's go throw some more coins at him.
they're jester maxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and
the maxing thing is one of my favorite things to come out of this. This looks maxing dude. Like, oh my gosh, he's break maxing. Oh, you smoke break maxing, bro. Like, what? Just
that's so funny. But yeah, like I don't think any of these communities exist. Like when I think of what a community is, right? I don't agree with the Red Pill or the Manosphere. I think I'm very like I label myself a centrist, but I think to my core I have a lot more liberal beliefs than I have conservative beliefs. So I think by that notion alone, I wouldn't necessarily be attracted to the message or the meaning behind the Red Pill.
Yeah, I
the Manosphere.
The Red Pill people, you kind of had to be. You really enjoyed conservative values and you grew around people that were very liberal. That's a very specific demographic. Yeah. The demographic's huge in America right now. Maybe it's growing in South Africa.
I think it, you know what, like, if I'm being completely honest, right, I don't think that anyone wholeheartedly believes in the Red Pill or the Manosphere. I think they're just using the controversy of it to justify their really, is the word poignant? Like just really terrible beliefs.
That's all poignant means, no.
Isn't it?
No.
What does it mean?
Except poignant's like a very good point. Like it's a very like sophisticated point. You can Google
Am I
this.
that far off?
Yeah, you can Google
Was
this.
it?
But the thing I'll say is, I think what happened there is there's just a bit of brainwashing. Like some people saw a niche that needed to be covered, and they went for that niche. But now I kind of want, now that we're talking about it.
No. Poignant. Something that evokes a keen sense of sadness, regret, or deep emotional affecting.
Oh, wow.
We were both wrong.
Yeah. But it actually makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah.
But is that feeling like you have to be a part of this super particular group. And I think those people, it's what they wanted to hear, not what they needed to hear, kind of thing. And because they wanted to hear it and someone told it to them, they've believed it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's necessarily true. I think some of it's true. I think from the manosphere, the ladosphere, and the gentlemanosphere has come.
Whoa!
Because Williamson is trying to coin the gentlemanosphere, which is like his.
Stop it! Get some help.
But like this, I want there to be a sphere that's like a similar idea, because the manosphere was supposed to be how men should be men. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I just think that their ideas of masculinity were very far off. So like the idea was right, the execution was horrendous.
Yeah.
You know? But something that's interesting is like we've had now multiple variations of this in the men's side of the internet. Do you think the reason there's no women's side of it is just because men are more chronically online for some reason?
Is it the men's side of the internet or is it an American side of the internet?
I mean, you got a lot of South Africans that love the content, eh?
Yeah, but look at how westernized and look at how gentrified our culture has become.
True, but I'm trying to think of a place where that doesn't exist, you know?
Yeah.
Except like if you're in Asia.
True. Okay, but to answer your question, just repeat the question, I'll answer.
Like why women don't have the same kind of spheres. Why it's like predominantly men? Is that because we're more chronically online?
I think because it's the male loneliness epidemic.
Yeah.
Like, I think people undervalue the extent of it. And I think everyone thinks of the male loneliness epidemic as a inability to love or to find love. But I think
people think it's just dating. It's not
yeah,
just dating.
it's not. It goes as far as community. It goes as far as friendships. It goes as deep as like family.
I definitely think family. I think most young men feel very disconnected from their fathers.
Ooh.
And it's true. I don't think. Look, obviously, I love my mom so much. I think my relationship with her is great. But would I have loved a better fatherly figure in my life? Absolutely. And maybe that's no reason why a lot of dudes latch onto these people. You know, it's like Andrew Tate feels like the dad I never had kind of thing, which is crazy to think about. I hope no one looks at Clavicular as a dad. I hope he never becomes a dad too.
Did you hear what happened on one of his streams?
What?
His dad sent him a text message during one of the streams where they went to a basketball game, and he was like, on stream he goes to the bathroom to take meth.
Wow.
And then his dad sends him a message on stream, and he's like, it's like what? It's like you're a drug addict and a prostitute. What a great son to have. Like,
wow.
Like, that's your role models, bro. But anyways,
damn, dude, that hits hard.
That's insane.
Because
that is
insane.
It's
one thing for you or I to have said to him, but your own father, dude.
Yeah,
that hurts different.
Yeah, that's a different type of cut. But
dude.
I think it's I think the reason why it's so easy for me to laugh at Clavicular is because it kind of, to me, who was never a part of the Manosphere or the Red Pill, it kind of feels like a look, this is what you guys wanted type of a thing, right? And to answer your question earlier about why women don't have that, and once I finish this answer, then I'll tie back in why I said what I said about I wasn't a part of that. I don't think it's the truth that women don't have those figures, because Paul Davis exists. Is a son named Davis?
I have no idea who that is.
It's this white woman that obviously American. She like latched herself onto the Manosphere and Red Pill thing, and she was like constantly on like podcasts with like Andrew Tate, Myron Gaines, the two dudes from Fresh and Fit. I don't think anyone knows the second guy's name. But anyways, besides the point,
I don't know the first guy. I'm not on this side of the internet.
You're not on that. I mean, I don't think you should be.
No, I should critique it more.
You should critique it more.
I should critique it more. Go on.
But yeah, so like, it's Myron Gaines, it's Sneeko, Andrew and Tristan Tate, Clavicular, and then a bunch of other NPCs that would pop up like every now and then. But they like. She would like kind of represent the female opinion within the Red Pill and Manosphere space. But to show how unrelatable it was, everything she represented that the Red Pill and the Manosphere represented, she didn't fall part of. She's not short, petite. She's not, a trad wife. She's not a virgin. She's not 22. She's not like any of the stuff that these men spoke about, yet there she is, trying to push this narrative, force this narrative down. And I think her existence highlighted a dark era in this thinking. And it's so unattainable that even as a woman, if you're to support it, it's impossible for you to fall within it. And I think you see a lot of it in like the whole... like in the dating lives of each one of these people, because you'll constantly hear like, so for context, I'm on the side of the internet where like I'm constantly listening to like video essays. Like I really enjoy video essays about gaming, but because YouTube, the algorithm to kind of categorize video essays and gaming as part of the like Twitch type of content, I get like a lot of recommendations of like these two dudes, Abba and Preach, Hasanabi, Hassan Piker, like those type of like very traditionally what's seen as like the libtards, like that end. Yeah. So I do find myself listening to these people's critiques of them. Oh, and I was also a big Penguin Zero Charlie Moist Critical. Yeah. I was admittedly a big Moist Critical fan. So I think when he beefed with Sneeko, because I watched all of those videos, it just flooded my YouTube with all this. So but yeah, anyways, enough justifying.
Yeah, that was a long-winded way to say I saw content on this.
Yeah, sorry, but so like I find that like if you look at their dating lives, and they're constantly getting critiqued on their dating lives by these people that I mentioned, right? Even within their own dating lives, they can't meet women that fulfill their standards, and that's kind of why I think like they surround themselves almost exclusively with the more willingly objectified women, your party girls.
You're low self-esteem kind of people. You're very
well. I don't necessarily think they're low self-esteem.
I just think that to manipulate. You know,
I'll be so honest. I don't think it's even that. They're in it for money, so go get the money. You know?
Yeah, and fame, dude. People
and fame, clout is currency.
A lot of people choose to be famous over choose to be rich, dude. I think the reason why people critique their dating life so much because it's their whole thing. It's like they're like, this is what women want, and then none of them can get girlfriend. But I think it's so true when you say like they have this very narrow mold of what a girl can be for you to want her.
Yeah. And
yeah, cool, bro. Cool. Keep up with that. You're going to be lonely for a lot of your life. And then who wins?
Nobody.
It's like your great job. You've made your standards so specific that you'll never find the person you're looking for. And now you're going to be alone forever. But you can at least hang your hat on that you didn't change your standards.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
You know, and that's like, that's thing of being like a virgin, trad wife, blah, 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 all these kind of things. Why do you want a blank canvas of a person, essentially?
Yeah.
You know, someone that's not really like, no, that's not to say that the only way to live life is having a lot of sex or whatever, or being untraditional, blah, blah, blah. But you're almost saying, like, you're looking more for a lack of things than things.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's looking for a blank canvas. Why do you want that? Why do you want someone that you can mold into what you want? Because you think it's going to be more safe? Because you think it's going to be more enjoyable? The truth about love is the same things that make love wonderful, the things that make it terrible. And I don't think that's what these guys get. I think when they think of love, they generally think of things like status, they think of sex, they think of appearances, and that's about it. I don't think there's an actual emotional connection that they think of. I think that's kind of sad.
Yeah, I do think I think it's really, really sad because, like, I don't necessarily think that these guys understand nuance or the concept of nuance and depth, you know? Like,
the whole internet doesn't understand nuance and depth.
Yeah, like I've always been one to make fun of the trope of like the high school cool kid, right? Because I thought the high school cool kid trope is like the dumbest shit ever. Like Disney would always interpret these characters as like they have it all figured out. They've got all the friends. They're charming. They're good looking. They can dress well, and
captain of the football team.
Captain of the football team, but the more they elaborate on this person's existence, the more you sat there and you're like, this is the least interesting person I've ever like been forced to witness.
But in high school, I thought he was cool as hell, bro.
Yeah, like, what's the guy from High School Musical?
Troy Bolton.
Zac
Efron.
Hey, Zac Efron, yeah. Like, I think that's also why so many actors, especially Disney actors, like never. I get it's kiddie shows, but they never fell in love with the characters they acted as. Like, I think Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana is the only one, but that's because she was acting out her own life.
Yeah,
you know.
But it also kind of drove her crazy.
It did drive her crazy. Yeah, like, you know, like everyone wanted to be like a Troy Bolton in school, But like in school, that's a reasonable thing to admire. As an adult, to try and live out the high school cool kid fantasy where you're good looking, you have it all together, you can dress well, it's all just working out for you.
Dude, I think a lot of this stuff just becomes like the basics.
Yeah.
Like everyone eventually learns how to dress well. Everyone can, well, not everyone, but most people learn
Say very subjective take.
Most people learn how to dress well. Like you grow up and you kind of just find out what works for you.
Yeah.
And then you develop other characteristics around that as well. I really feel there's a lot of hollow people.
Hollow?
Yeah, like there's, I call them TV static people. Like they go to bed at night and when they lay down, their head hits the pillow, they hear I don't see any depth to who they are. They like, those are the kind of people that are like, oh, dude, The Office is my favorite show.
Shame.
Or like, oh my gosh, dude, I love, who's like a popular artist right now? Like, oh, I love Sabrina Carpenter. It's like,
I love Sabrina Carpenter though.
I love Chaperone, but that's a different story.
She's a terrible human.
I've heard, but
Yeah.
Pink Pony Club is still fantastic.
Did you see have you seen like the Twitter beef between her and Jorginho?
No.
The former Arsenal and
No, I was
Chelsea
about to say,
midfielder? That's the one, yeah. Yeah, there's like a full-on beef. Like apparently they're at a hotel in Brazil for, I think it was Lollapalooza. Did I say that right?
Lollapalooza.
It's Lollapalooza.
Sorry about that, yeah.
Something to that effect, yeah. And the daughter was a Chaperone fan, and they were staying at the same hotel. They went down for breakfast. The Jorginhos. No, his surname is I don't know. Anyways, his family, and they just happened to be staying in the same hotel as her. And the daughter is like a massive fan. Noticed her sitting in the restaurant where they were, and then she like walked past and tried to get a closer look. And then she was like, "Oh my soul, that's her." And then a security guard, which Chappell claims is not her security guard, it was the hotel security, as per her claims, then went and reprimanded the daughter with her mother, bringing a 10 or 11-year-old child to tears.
Shame.
Because she went to look at her. She didn't ask for an autograph. She didn't, like,
Yeah, okay. But the point I was trying to make, I was
sorry.
not trying to defend Chaperone or anything.
Terrible human.
But like, the thing I want to say is like, there's nothing wrong liking those things. But if that's all you are, like if you don't have any strong opinions on anything, you don't care really about anything, you don't have a passion, like what is there to you? You know what? Maybe look, I do have this obsession of like you have to do more, like doing more is better, and it's not healthy. But I don't think doing nothing is good either. And I think there's a lot of people I spoke about just now, Chad, that the only thing they do is go to work and go home and sleep, and then they get to 50 years old and like, what have I been doing? I'm going to die at some point, and I've done nothing that I love. I've never had anything that I've loved. Those people are hollow. And I find it so difficult to actually resonate with them in any capacity.
Look, I don't think you're meant to. I think that there's a very, well, I don't want to say warped, but like, I guess warped. There's just this thing where we have this belief that we should be able to connect with everyone and anyone through conversation and through whatever other means. But I don't necessarily think that's true. I don't think you're meant to be able to connect to every single person. I think difference should exist, and indifference to difference should be a concept that people can live with. Like, I think it's like it's very harsh to critique someone because you don't get along with them. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the feeling that comes up most when I think of these people is like, I don't want to say pity, but I guess pity. I can't imagine that being a happy life. And maybe I'm missing out on that. Maybe the ignorance is bliss. You know, maybe I could use more of that in my life. But I wonder what happens to these people once they get old enough age and they kind of just realize, like, wow,
well,
where's it gone?
What are they realizing? Because I think you got to put yourself in their shoes. And if that monotony and if that procedure is comfort, and that comfort brings them happiness, then what are they supposed to realize?
I don't think happiness is comfort. I don't think comfort brings happiness whatsoever. I think that's an illusion that's been sold. I think comfort is very safe. I think people care more about safety than happiness, which is understandable. But I think most of us are safe enough that we should care more about happiness. You get what I'm saying?
I don't agree at all. I don't agree at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that the objective of life is to feel safe. I think safety is just a byproduct of like security and the things that you've done right. Like I fully believe that like you chase various levels of comfort. Obviously thank you capitalism.
Doesn't make capitalism for human nature. Come on.
Thank you capitalism. We could have been growing strawberries in the mountains, but instead I have a 9 to 5.
Yeah, and I'd be fucking bored growing strawberries after 2 weeks, bro. Let me gamble online and hit the vape. Like, come on.
To be fair, without capitalism, we wouldn't have clavicular.
Yes. This is the best timeline.
This is the best.
I love harassing people online.
No, I think I genuinely believe that, like, you know, happiness is a different product for each person that's buying it. So it's not like, I don't think it's a fair assessment on anyone to like kind of assume regret for a life they've chosen. Like, regret is a very personal, intrinsic thing. I don't think you could possibly put yourself in someone else's position and say like, damn, what are they going to regret not living it differently?
Yeah. Bro, but then I think of like all these surveys they do of elderly people on their deathbed. And like the results come back, it's like 92% wish they'd done more of life. It's like, it's hard not to think that these people won't regret it then.
Yeah, but I mean, you live in a life with infinite possibilities and infinite capacities.
You didn't take any of them.
Well, you could take 100 and still feel like you did none of them. You could take one and feel like you lived all of them. Like,
yeah,
I think that's an incredibly subjective thing, incredibly subjective, and everyone has like that right to.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to force it down anyone's throat. If you want to do nothing, then like go ahead. But I mean, look at your own life. Has there ever been a case where you're like, man, I think I would have been better off having not tried?
I can't necessarily say that. Like, I can't look, like, I can't assess my life looking back and say, you know,
you gotta remember Yoda, bro. Do or do not. There is no try. Sorry, I just wanted to mix that in before.
It's like made my brain like I in post put like a buffering. No, like I don't think I have any regrets. I think I have a lot of things that I didn't see out that my parents necessarily weren't happy with. Like, I know, like, my dad, if you ask him right now, my dad feels that I should have been a professional soccer player. And I think when I was a lot younger, I did too. Like, when I was 18, not 18. When I was 19, 20, I think I firmly believed, like, I missed my golden ticket. But I actually don't think I had much of a pathway to professional football within South Africa in the first place. And I think it was just, it was like the realization that like, oh, I'm actually at the age now where the footballers that I look up to and admire, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, we're the same age. And I think that's all that insecurity was. It's like, oh, I'm actually at that age where I would have been in the Premier League in that timeline. But, you know, at the same time, I don't actually have any regrets for the path that I chose, because I think I'm really happy with where I am now. And the people that I was allowed to meet, the community that I was allowed to cultivate, I wouldn't trade in for anything. Had I gone professional, I don't meet you. Had I gone...
What do you mean, dude? You would have. When you're super famous and the podcast pops off, I would have...
You would have reached out?
I would have reached out, bro. No, I'm going to give a hot take. And let me like try and communicate it. I'm piecing this together as I'm sitting on this couch. But I think you should feel maybe not regrets, but maybe regret isn't the best word, but I think I'll use it. Maybe you should regret that. So the next time a big opportunity comes your way, you can remember how much it stung to miss the last one. I think of it like that because I think of a lot of times where I'd regret not doing things in life, and then the opportunity comes again, and I still don't do it. Obviously, I'm not regretting it enough. Obviously, like it doesn't sting enough to change our future actions, so maybe it should. Maybe that's what like. I think most of your motivation comes from regret.
Maybe, but I think if most of your motivation comes from regret, then you're just not a very motivated person. Full stop.
I don't know, bro. Have you ever heard like? Did you ever listen to like Michael Jordan or Kobe talk about what motivated them?
But I think
it was
it's
pure hate.
But that was written. That was written for them by someone who was like top 3 in their copywriting class, because in the 90s and the early 2000s, copywriting was this fantastic thing. But no, I don't believe that those. I think it's PR. I don't think any of that's real.
PR? Bro, I think
Kobe's record got shattered by Bam.
Shut
you
up,
ever heard?
He's got 5 rings. No,
have you ever heard Bam take an interview? Oh yeah, my failures motivated me to smash Kobe's records.
No, but Bam also averages 19 points for his career.
And
has 0 championships, 0 MVPs, 0 all defenses, 0 all pros.
Still took Kobe's record.
Then this use Michael. No one's breaking any of Michael's records.
Who knows?
But bro, like
it's probably gonna be like Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole is not going to average 30 points for his career. You'd have to pull some deep shit out of his ass. But I think that they truly were just super competitive people. Like Tom Brady was drafted in 2001. He can still name every single quarterback drafted off of him.
Okay.
On the spot.
Can I point out the consistency amongst all three of these people?
If you want to say it's PR, you can look at like.
No, they're American, and everything's a show.
Well, Kobe's Italian.
No, he's American.
Where was he born?
I don't know. I don't care. Was he born in Italy?
Yeah.
Okay, where did he play?
In Italy.
Where did he go to high school?
High school, he went to America.
Where did he go to college?
He didn't go to college.
Yeah, because he's stupid.
Yeah, you're stupid to take $1 bajillion from the NBA.
No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
No.
Look, I think it's a very stupid thing to base your life model on American ideologies, because the American ideology is such an insecure one. I'm not anti-America. I just don't really like the way Americans think at all. For me, the greatest sportsman of all time is Lionel Messi. And I have never heard an interview where the dude's gone, I failed so much it made me hungry and I needed it.
Yeah, but you also need to remember Messi is severely autistic.
And it makes him so much cooler than everyone else. I'm a firm believer in
someone like Alexander Volkanovski.
Who's that?
He's a Australian UFC fighter.
Oh, for UFC though.
But
also, it's an ego-driven sport.
Bro, every sport's an ego-driven sport.
I don't think
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, but also, I think he was selling a brand.
Dude,
he was selling a brand.
I feel like I've met personal people in my life that you can just see how much competitiveness they have from their failures.
Yeah.
Most successful business
Look,
people.
I'm not saying that there's nothing to learn from your failures, but I'm never gonna agree with the notion that you should build your motivation on the failures of your past.
It shouldn't be your only thing, but manage to contribute.
Yeah, definitely. Like I know, like I'm someone who I can be incredibly motivated, but I can also be incredibly like, what's the word I'm looking for? Unmotivated?
Unmotivated. That's a terrible one.
It's a terrible one.
Apathetic.
Apathetic. Yeah. I can be incredibly apathetic at times, but I also don't have this objective to be world famous. I've never really. I don't know. Maybe I'm an outlier. I don't know. I've never wanted to conquer the world.
Look, whether you're an outlier or not, I do think that's great for you, if that's the person you are. I don't relate to that, dude. I've always had this. Maybe it's just because I've never been.
How happy are you?
Happiness is a fleeting emotion, man. I don't chase happiness.
Do you think there's a correlation between competitiveness and happiness?
That's a great question. So, like, the more competitive you are, the less happy you are.
Yeah.
I feel at the extreme end, yes, because I think people like Kobe, maybe not Kobe. Kobe seems like a pretty happy guy, but like Michael Jordan. I'm trying to think of other people that were really bad with it. Tiger Woods, maybe. He was a pretty unhappy guy for a long period until he had his son, then that changed. Are you thinking of the joke I told earlier?
No, just, all the DUIs. Sorry.
Elon Musk is an extremely competitive person. He's unhappy. Jeff Bezos is another one I would put in there. Steve Jobs. So maybe it is, but like I also know a lot of people in my life who are personally very competitive. That's happy.
What is their competitive nature, Bolton?
Bro, I can see people that like you can see Joe is a very competitive person. You know, that's.
I think to an extent, but I don't think it models his personality.
Yeah, I don't think it's his entire personality, but the question is, does competitiveness correlate with unhappiness? Maybe in the most extreme cases, but I'd maybe argue that when you get to the bottom end, it's almost an inverse effect where like not being competitive at all also correlates with happiness. There has to be.
Like I definitely am not a believer in like apathy.
Yeah. So like it's a give and take, right? So what's the healthy amount of competitiveness? I think the healthy amount of competitiveness is you're in a job where you're pushed to be your best version, and the goals are very clear, and you have people that are also trying to be their best version. I think you have some hobbies that are numerically based, where you can see yourself progressing and you can see the people around you progressing, and man, if you just like have a sports team you love supporting, or you just think quiz nights all this shit, like those doses of competitiveness is super, super good for people.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Look, I am one of the most competitive people I know, which is the greatest irony about this whole take.
Yes.
Yeah. If you've ever played sports with me, you've seen it. If you've ever run with me, you've seen
I hate
it.
people like, no, we're doing this for fun. The fun is the competition.
Okay, you're projecting. I know I did this on a few runs, but you don't have to bring it up now.
No. This is how I personally feel, bro. Like dude, when we go to a quiz night and everyone's like, let's just have a good time. Yeah, we will have a good time if we win. If we come first. It's like, do you really want the money that badly? Fuck the money. They can keep it. I want to know, right? I want the Quizzly Bears over there to know we beat them. It wasn't even close.
I hear you. I get that completely, because, like I said, I am an incredibly competitive person. Very, very competitive.
I think what might be happening here is you see the issues of it within yourself, and that's why you're hesitant to recommend it as a good trait to have.
Maybe, but I think I handle it very healthily. So it's not to say like my apprehension comes from a place of like carefulness, I guess, or accidentally giving harmful advice. That's maybe not what I'm trying to avoid here. I think more what I'm trying to avoid is painting competitiveness as the answer. Like I think failure is a fantastic driving force. I think competitiveness is a fantastic driving force. But I think knowing yourself intrinsically and externally, like, I don't know, maybe your capacity to do stuff on a physical level. I think knowing yourself that well is a far more useful component than competitiveness.
100%. So I've been
failure.
I've been playing with this idea that Dr. K has taught. You're gonna need to hold my mic for me.
Okay.
So I feel I'm out shot. There we go. So if this is the thing you want, and this is your motivation to get the thing I'm fucking this up already. If over here is the thing you want, here's the resistance, here's your motivation. You can't get to the thing you want because the resistance is higher than the motivation. The option is to pump up the motivation to want it more, to tell yourself you want it more, which what a lot of people do. The other option, which not a lot of people do, which what you're saying is lower the resistance. You can do both. And I think a lot of people focus on upping the motivation, when in reality they should focus a little bit more on lowering the resistance. Because upping the motivation is transient. I think lowering the resistance is a bit more permanent. You know what I'm saying? And the lowering the resistance is knowing yourself, knowing what you truly want. I think people really don't know themselves anymore. Like if you had to ask someone to write something, create, express themselves, a lot of people would not know what to put down.
Yeah.
I've done some creative writing. I enjoy it. I've talked to you about it. I think a lot of the stuff that I feel is that unsung hero that dies in the pursuit of protecting other people. It's almost like a desire of mine.
Yeah.
And I think that says a lot to the person I've grown up being. I wonder how many other people would have that constant through line, the things that they create.
Yeah.
That speaks for the things that they've gone through.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot, because not a lot of people get to know themselves that much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic point. I would add to that and say that, like, I think a lot fewer people know themselves than we actually give those people, like, than we actually think, sorry. Like, I think there's an art to knowing yourself and understanding yourself. And I think it's something that when people on their deathbed say, like, one of their regrets is that they didn't do more, I think to a very large extent, what they mean is that, like, they actually have no idea who they are. There's no value to what they lived because they have no idea, like, who.
The Pablo Picasso quote you told us last night. He repeated.
On his deathbed, where he stated that, okay, said under correction, but anyways.
You see, I stopped caring about this shit a long time ago. No one watches enough of this for me to have to correct myself. So go for it.
The only regret he has is that he never painted. He never created his own art, or he never, you know.
I wrote it down.
Yes, please just reread it.
Oh damn! Where's my phone?
See, when there's alcohol, you remember things a lot better.
Hey, it's not fucking alcohol. My mom watches these. She has no idea.
Do you think she'll get to this point in the pod? Hi, August mom.
The quote was on Pablo Picasso's deathbed. He said, "My only regret was I didn't create something that was my own."
Yeah.
That's fire.
That is insane.
Absolutely fire.
That is insane.
Yeah. Go make stuff that your own, man. Go find out who you are. And when you find out who you are, have no shame. Unless you're a pedophile. Then feel some shame.
Yeah, feel some shame.
Feel some shame. Furries too. Tottenham supporters.
Looksmaxxers.
Obviously, this is all for banter. Find out who you are. And be proud of it, dude. And if no one likes your art, at least you do. You know?
Yeah.
Because if what you put out there is you, then the people like you for you. If what you put out there is someone else, you will never feel the love that thing gets. Because you're one person removed from the person that created it. You don't get the hate and criticism that comes with it. You don't get the love with it. You gotta get both. Maybe a good place to end our episode. Be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself.
And while you're being yourself, please like, comment, subscribe, follow Aiden on Instagram for more content. He'll eventually make something when he's done being a pissy little bitch.
When I finally decide that I belong on the internet full time, maybe.
Yeah, and when he stops trying to aura max on Instagram.
I post once a year. How is that aura maxing?
That's aura maxing. Until next time, cheers.